Kit Guru here at CES 2026. We're with CyberPower in a little bit of a secret booth behind the scenes, looking at something new with Nam. Nam, what are we looking at here?
So right here, this is our newest case. It's called the MA01. The MA stands for Modern Analog. To describe this case, I'll start off by telling you the story of the modern side of this case. You know, when you look at computers today, or actually consumer electronics in general, they try to hide how things work. You know, a Dyson fan can blow air without a blade. So we thought the same thing about a computer case. You know, the fans have a functional form of blowing air. Lights are supposed to light things up, but do we really want to see the actual fans or see the light bulbs? So the goal of this case was try to hide all that so that we can really focus on the core components, make that the center of this case. So if we start off with the first aspect of the modern was this, we wanted to explore a new mesh, and this here is called a woven steel mesh. If you look really closely, it's woven like a fabric. And what this does is that every hole is a different shape and size slightly, which then makes it so that the porosity has a different pitch resonance. And what that does is that it's able to reduce the noise that's coming out by 20 to 30%.
So now tell me something about the fact that you've managed to hide the fans. Can you pull the side off and show me the bits you've hidden underneath?
Yep. So as you can see here, we have this venting cover that we've created. And what it does is that if you look really close, you'll see that all the vents are angled in a way where all the airflow is being pushed towards the components in the corner. Even the exhaust is angled so that once the air gets to this point, it exhausts together. Part of the modern design was also to just hide all the details. So a typical case might show something like this exposed, right, where the brackets are. But even a detail as small as that is something that we took the time to hide. We wanted to make sure that aesthetically, this case, the lines flow and all the angles flow from one side to the other as a single unit.
It's quite normal to see RGB these days, but most of it's done on a software panel. But I noticed you've got three little dials at the bottom. What are they about?
So this is the modern aspect of it. A typical case has RGB lighting, but people aren't actually using the full 60.7 million colors available to them. In general, they might only have like a few primary colors that they can choose from. And everybody's seen this. When you look online, you see cases, they're just stuck with these colors. They might have different modes, right, where they can change colors or even like full RGB, but they're never really able to pick a specific color. So what we did was we made it so that if you push any of these buttons, you activate the RGB mode. This first knob is for red, this is for green, and this is for blue. And they have 256 points of color or levels of control. If you take this red one, you push it in, and you could turn off the red completely by turning it, you'll see here that all the red is starting to be turned off, and all we're left with is blue and green. If I turned off the blue, it'll really give you a strong green. If you go all the way on, where we turn everything up to 100%, you'll get like that bright white blue light that you get from a typical computer. But this is where we really show this aspect of personalization, because a case like this, sometimes your house is full of warm lights, and a case that has very sterile white light will stick out like a sore thumb. So in these cases, you might want to bring this down. You can turn the temperature down by bringing down some of the blues and greens, and you can end up with a very warm tone color that you would find more typical in, you know, household furniture.
And you're saying downstairs with the USB ports, you've actually gone to the effort of shielding them to make sure you don't get color leak or light leak from the back.
So we always talk about these little details, like how normal people might just have a hole cut out with USB ports in it, but we wanted to shield it so that it prevents light leaks, but also it ensures that this port is just straight on every time. Sometimes when people don't put this level of detail, you could tell because you look at the USB port, you'll see it's like crooked or too deep in or sticking out. These are the level of details that we try to take a lot of extra effort to do.
So this chassis should come to market somewhere around about the $249 mark, which I guess would be the same in pounds. There'll be a different one with a simpler mesh, closer to 199 and 149 in the center. And then what they're aiming for is to see if they can get one of these options to market at around 99, possibly just over 100. We've been talking about this as a chassis, but actually CyberPower will be bringing this together to market as a complete system, and it will be there to showcase the latest in components, CPU, GPU, etc.